Lance, when you look at this, winner of this goes to the Big Ten championship. If they take care of business, they'll be in the college football playoff. Loser of it, it's going to be awfully tough for them to get into the playoffs this year.
Well, yeah, especially I really think Michigan has to win. I think Ohio State has a shot. The resume is a little bit better than Michigan, but Michigan's going to have to win. I think this game, it's kind of like when you going into 2 years ago, Michigan didn't have, most people feel Michigan didn't have a shot. Now that a lot of people are saying Ohio State doesn't have a shot or Michigan's much better. And I think it's going to be a very, very competitive game. I think both defensive coordinators are going to be at their best, and they're going to force these quarterbacks. Because when you look at the rosters, when you watch the film, and I've watched all 11 games on both teams, and they are really good everywhere. So it's going to come down to when you're really good everywhere, quarterback play kind of stands out because as good as Ohio State is, and I think Henderson is a game changer. In fact, I think he's the best back in college football. Corum and Edwards are just as good. The offensive lines are both good. The defenses are both good. So it's going to come down to that quarterback play, in my opinion, and how those defensive coordinators attack. But I think it's going to be, it's kind of what everybody wants, right? There's new animosity. They don't like each other. I think it's always good for college football when both of these teams are good.
All right, let's take a look at the first clip. Take us through what you see here and the importance of it.
So last 2 years, the Michigan Wolverines have rushed for 549 yards against Ohio State. That's a staggering number. And one of the reasons they've done this is not talent. And it's just because I think they had a new scheme. So as this play runs over and over, you're going to see JJ McCarthy. You're going to see on the Michigan left side or Ohio State's right side, they have a guy over the center and a guy in the wide nine, JT Tuimalu. So they're outmanned here. The Michigan has 5 guys there, and Ohio State only has 2. And they did this a number of times the last 2 years where they've been outmanned alignment-wise. So this is not a talent thing. This is not, the scheme or anything. This is that they just have more people on that side of the ball. And you saw it on the 75-yard touchdown run. You saw it on the 85-yard touchdown run. You saw it early in the second half because in the first half, Michigan only had 10 yards rushing. So with Michigan, it gets in all these 13 and 12 personnel, these Jim Harbaugh NFL-type sets, these NFL-type runs. Ohio State has to match their physicality, but first of all, they have to get lined up. They lose this play by alignment. They did not lose it by skill. They did not lose it by, not using technique or strength. They simply lost it because they weren't lined up right to a tight end set. So that's the first thing that has to happen is Michigan has to continue to do this if they want to have success, and Ohio State has to figure out a way to stop it. And Michigan's going to continue to throw a bunch of different formations to see if Ohio State can line up.
Yeah, and, look no further than the Penn State game for Michigan earlier this year. They did not run the ball the entire second half, and they ended up running the ball all over Penn State. Pretty good football team, and beating them. All right, next clip, you mentioned kind of attacking the quarterbacks. Take us through what you see here and why it is important.
Well, you're going to see, so these quarterbacks, like I said, breaking down this film, they're so good at every position. They're NFL talent in almost all these positions. So what it comes down to is these quarterbacks, and you got to not let these quarterbacks do what they do best. And what JJ McCarthy does best is that he is a play continuer. He's going to keep the play alive, very like Mahomes style, where he just makes plays. You're going to see him flip the ball here. He gets a free rusher from Indiana. He makes a miss, and then he ships the ball out here to Edwards, who gets the first down. So Ohio State has to stop the run, get lined up right, and they got to keep McCarthy in the pocket. Those are the 2 keys. They got to, again, make it second, behind the 6, second, 8+, and then they got to keep him in the pocket because when he gets outside the pocket, he's really, really dangerous, and he's only gotten better. So they got to keep him in the pocket because they've had some protection issues, and he's had some accuracy and some processing issues this year. So this is what he does best. If Ohio State sees this, they're in trouble. They see the next couple of clips, they're going to be in good shape.
All right, so again, you see outside the pocket, dangerous guy, JJ McCarthy. All right, take us through this next clip, and you kind of alluded to keeping him in the pocket, and what do you see here?
So what you get here is that you're going to get, this is what he struggled with. So this is the Bowling Green game. This is the last time he threw more than 1 interception in the game. So he actually, with the motion by the tight end, he should read man coverage, and he doesn't. He reads, I'm sure he should read zone coverage because no one runs with the man. So what he's got to do is he's got to process a little bit. This gets to his third progression, and he doesn't see the zone drop. And he does this a bunch during Bowling Green, in the Bowling Green game, and he gets picked off multiple times, 3 times. One of his only games that he did not process very well. And what Bowling Green does here is they rush in their lanes, they keep them in the pocket, they make them process. And as you can also see, as good as the Michigan offensive line is, they have given up pressure, a lot of pressure this year. So Ohio State's got to keep them in the pocket, stop the run, and then pressure them.
All right, so you see the interception against Bowling Green. Take us through this, the third clip relative to McCarthy and what you see here.
Here's what's got to be a little bit scary for Michigan fans, right? So Barnhart, who's been the right tackle 52, he has really struggled in pass protection. And if you watch the Penn State game, you know the thing that I constantly hear is they ran the ball 34 straight times, and that's a credit to them. But one of the reasons they had to run it so much is they could absolutely not pass protect against this ferocious Penn State defensive line. A defensive line that probably doesn't have, in fact, I know it does not have the talent of the offense of the Ohio State defensive line. So they're going to have to chip. They're going to have to help Barnhart. Again, this is a concern for Michigan, is that when they have to get in true passing situations, can they hold up and drop back passing? Because if they're running the ball and they're staying on schedule and they're dominating the line of scrimmage, they'll never get to this. So the formula for Ohio State is very simple for both teams, right? So Michigan's got to run it. Ohio State's got to stop it. McCarthy's got to make plays. Ohio State's got to keep them in the pocket. And that's really what it comes down to in this game, is the ability to take away what the other team does well.